Hello guys, welcome. Today I have a very special video. It's an intense debate and the way it ends is amazing. Let's jump straight into the video and watch.
I just want to start off by saying that it's always great to be politically active than to not be politically active, so I thank you for that. But I do want to start off by saying earlier I was outside protesting, as I usually do on campus, with a sign that says, "Tear the fascists down." Now, for those who don't know what fascism is, it's an ideology associated with Nazism. As I had this sign, not affiliated to anybody, I had a group of individuals come up to me saying openly they were fascists, attending your event, and called me the F word while at it. It's not lies. Now, I am not here to call you a fascist. I'm not. As I know you're not a Nazi sympathizer, you've never openly sympathized Nazism. I can see that. But people who openly call themselves fascists are here and are not afraid to admit they are fascists. So my question is, will you denounce fascism today, as the definition online puts it, as an ideology including racial nationalism and authoritarianism today?
Yes. Will you denounce Marxism as the greatest killer of human beings in the last 100 years?
Well, describe Marxism to me.
I'm sorry, what?
Describe Marxism to me.
The ideology that Mao Zedong, Joseph Stalin, Vladimir Lenin, and Pol Pot employed to the massacre of over 100
million. It did kill millions of people. You're right. Correct.
Okay, so I'll denounce fascism. You denounce Marxism. Yeah?
Well, I would have to say, like, by definition. No. Hold on. So my thing is that, was it Marxism itself, or was it a materialistic condition that caused that? Because as Marxists, what we do say is that there's material conditions that contribute to society. Now, you probably aren't familiar with dialectical materialism. I'll try to explain it real quickly.
No, I've read the Phenomenology of Spirit, and I know Hegel. But okay. But tell me, but why not denounce Marxism? I mean, so Mao Zedong, Marxist, Lenin, Marxist, Joseph Stalin, Marxist?
I'll denounce Joseph Stalin for you, definitely, yes. Joseph Stalin was an authoritarian leader who definitely killed millions of Ukrainians during the export of grain to, of course, build up their economy.
But there's nothing about, you don't think there's anything about the ideology that leads to the suffering, impoverishing, or the murdering?
Well, just like how Hitler called himself a socialist, it's not the ideology, it's just what you actually do in practice.
Yes, he did call himself a socialist.
Yeah.
But he was not a Marxist.
He was not, yeah.
But the National Socialist Workers' Party is the actual name of Nazism. But where has Marxism ever worked?
Well, I wouldn't say that Marxism itself has ever actually been tried. Now, of course, you can always say, like, oh, like, you know, that's an easy communist getaway question to it, right?
Well, but Marxism has killed a lot more people than Hitler. Everywhere it's tried, it results in famine, impoverishing, death, destruction. I mean, every failed country on the planet right now, including North Korea, is some form of a Marxist dictatorship.
Well,
so why is it hard to denounce that? Because it's easier for me to denounce fascism. Why the struggle to just say, you know, Marxism, bad, evil, end of story? Why can't we agree on that?
Well, because if you look at, I'll give the example of North Korea. What we did is that we went in there during the Korean War and destroyed all their factories, right? Now, what did this leave? This left an impoverished society where they now had no means to, of course, get their needs because their factories were destroyed. So that's number one on why North Korea. Now, I don't like North Korea. I'm just saying that's one reason why.
Has nothing to do with the Marxist leader? Nothing?
He's not a Marxist leader. I wouldn't consider himself a Marxist leader.
So what ideology is his?
So the ideology of Marxism is simply that workers own the means of production. The workers in North Korea do not own the means of production.
Would they have private property rights in North Korea?
They don't.
Then who owns the means of production?
The government does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but in a Marxist society,
that would be Marxism?
No, it's not, because the workers own the means of production, not the government.
But who is the government?
The government is the people, the bureaucrats.
Oh,
the bureaucrats who control the power.
Okay, and that would be the people, the bureaucrats owning the means of production, otherwise known as Marxism?
No. You're getting it all wrong. Literally, the word definition of Marxism is that workers own the means of production.
Right. So where has that ever been tried or worked? You say it's never been tried ever?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, got it. So even though the hammer and sickle and core Marxist ideology has been invoked repeatedly by these leaders, you're saying, no, not a Marxist. No, not a Marxist. No, not a Marxist. Over 100 times it has been tried on every single continent, from Mugabe in Rhodesia, which became Zimbabwe, to parts of India, to China, to Korea, to parts of Eastern Europe, to Central and South America, to Venezuela. None of that is Marxist, even though they say they're Marxist.
Well, it's tampering with Marxism, because you have sanctions and you bomb their countries. So, I mean, if you want to call that Marxism, then if you sanction and bomb them, I guess that's Marxism.
Wait, so how have we sanctioned and bombed these like Venezuela?
Venezuela has sanctions to where we don't buy their oil anymore.
Yeah, why do you think we're sanctioning them?
Because they have Marxist ideologies that don't incorporate with capitalist ideology.
Well, yeah, they're also like a quasi-terrorist state. But let's talk about Venezuela. Venezuela used to be rich and prosperous when they had the private ownership of minerals. Why is Venezuela now one of the poorest countries in South America? What ideology caused that?
See, but that's the thing, though. It's not the ideology, it's the practice. Now, you could say the practice is Marxism, but again, do the workers own the means of production in that country?
Somebody does.
Yeah, somebody does, but not the workers.
Yeah, the government owns. So, I mean, in like the purest form of Das Kapital Marxism, it is the government that comes in and abolishes private property. Correct?
This is, of course, called, I think, the dictatorship of the proletariat, I think is what you're referring to.
Right. So
Yeah.
let me ask you a question. So you believe in this like abstract Marxism that you don't ever want to denounce, even though it's been tried 100 times.
But again, you say try, but we just said that it hasn't been tried because workers haven't owned the means of production.
Okay, well, why do you think that is? Because they use the swan song of Marxism, and Marxism will always result in an oligarchy or a dictatorship. Okay. Because you know why? It's impossible to, quote unquote, have the workers owns the means of production because we don't share well as human beings. That's why only someone that has, and with all possible due respect, an infant understanding of human nature can think communism can work, because we're self-interested at our core. And you have an economic system that is built not on private property, but on, quote-unquote, shared goods. You're going to have a dictator on top of it that is going to exploit and terrorize. And so you started this conversation by asking me to denounce fascism, which is responsible for about 10 to 15 million deaths, said ideology. I'm pleading you one more time to denounce Marxism, that is responsible for minimum 100 to 120 million deaths.
Okay, academics have proven that wrong. That's not true. That's from the Black Book of Communism. That has
How many people did Mao kill?
Mao killed about 30 to 40 million.
How many people did Stalin kill?
Stalin killed about 20 to 30 million.
Okay, now we're at like 60 million, and I just named like 2 countries, man. Okay? So like we're out of the gate, and we're at like 60 million, okay?
Yeah.
So I can keep on going, right, if you want to talk famine, impoverishing, lowering of standard of living. But what I want to just reiterate as we close this out, there's this pathological fascination with fascism, and a complete ignoring that Marxism, which is the other side of the authoritarian coin, has been far deadlier, far more costly, and is far more popular. And I'll ask this final question. What do you think has a greater chance of catching on in America, fascism or Marxism?
I would say fascism.
Okay. You really think so?
I really do believe that.
Okay. The only way I would possibly agree with that is the left-wing fascists that shut up people on campuses and allow, try to stop freedom of speech. But it's just, I'm perplexed by your position and your inability and your unwillingness to denounce Marxism. I don't know how many, maybe another 100 million people dead, maybe you'd change your mind.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I just was curious about your stance on like college is a scam.
Yeah.
And I just was curious, why you say that.
Let me prove it to you. How many of you have to take classes that are a waste of time that you wish you shouldn't have to take? Well, there you go. I rest my case.
Yeah, no.
How many of you guys know at least 3 people that dropped out that went to this college previously and earlier? Okay. The national graduation rate is 41%. Most people that go to college do not graduate. You guys actually go to a school that has a lot of applicability in the job market outside of some of the majors that are offered, but aeronautical engineering, computer engineering, which, go work for Elon. So this school is actually a little bit more of the exception than it is the rule, because I think humanities are largely one of the great wastes of time and kind of societal poisons and cancers that are happening in our society. I'm happy to continue.
So what do you recommend like an 18-year-old dude or a girl to do after high school?
Turn up the volume. Can we try? I apologize. Sorry. Yeah. We're going to try. And I will come out there and say hi to you guys in a second. So, and we're going to go say hi to all of our friends over there. What do I recommend? It all depends on what you want to do. That's the worst thing you can do is enter into a 4-year agreement where you have to borrow a bunch of money, try to find your way, go take a bunch of classes that have very little relevancy, and next thing you know, you end up with a college degree, and you end up getting a job that doesn't require a college degree. Here's a fact. Half of people that graduate college end up getting a job that does not require a college degree 10 years after they graduate. That is the best argument I have. it goes to show the diploma doesn't actually have.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at engineering students. You're looking at well,
enginering's different. There's
finance students.
I qualified
and
that.
Students like that. For example, I went to community college for 2 years, and a lot of other people go to community college. You get free community college for 2 years, then you could transfer over, and then 2 years at a college like Cal Poly or a university, and the top 5 paying jobs at a college are accountants, engineers, teachers.
Try to get closer to the mic so people can hear.
Teachers, engineers, stuff like that. And it's just, and then the guys, the people that are wearing the shirts are actually in college. So I'm just curious,
they know better than I do that it's a scam then.
I mean, it's just someone like me, I think it just comes down to hard work ethic,
No,
I don't understand, not everyone's built for the trades. Not everyone's built to go into construction or, work as a painter or whatever they're doing after college.
Or a mechanic.
Yeah, exactly, and I just, a large majority of people going into college out of high school, I think it's a good choice for kids because they have 4 years to develop as a human being versus just jumping into the workforce
that's
and
a good
making what 30, 40 grand, and you can't live off that right now.
I mean, are those folks over there developing as human beings?
I mean, I'm not talking about them.
But hold on.
I'm talking about,
That's what college produces, though. Angry, bitter, resentful activists that hate the country. Yeah. That's not developing. That's hardening and honestly creating, a mobilization army for the radical left. That's what we've seen.
You got your major courses where you're taking, I'm a real estate finance major, so I'm taking classes for real estate finance. I have internships in real estate finance.
It's great.
I'm not going into that field after college, but I'm saying you take classes at college to get a job after college, and there's most of the universities you get over 75 grand a year out of college, and if you do the route of 2 years at community college and transfer into a university, you're able to pay off that debt, which is around 20K, 30K. For a school like this, you can go to state school, and then you're off to the races.
If you graduate, 41% don't, so because they shouldn't have gone in the first place.
Then what do they do? What do you do after?
They never should have gone. I mean, we have 11 million open trade jobs in this country.
Yeah,
here's the thing. People do not want to work with their hands, and parents don't want to send their kids to go work with their hands because it's considered to be dirty type labor. 11 million job openings in this country that require just a 6-month certification, whether it be auto mechanic, right, HVAC, plumber, so on and so forth. And it's not for everybody. But
no, I mean, I get what you're saying. It's just like the large majority of people in America right now are just lazy. They're not going to be doing that after high school.
Well, we agree. So does college make you lazy or make you work harder?
It makes you work harder. I mean, I worked throughout college. I've worked.
You are the exception then.
I mean,
because employers are disagreeing. They say we've never seen such lazy, entitled, narcissistic college graduates. In fact, most employers say if you have a college degree, you're put in a different category. They prefer people out of high school, unless you want to go work for Bank of America in a soulless laptop job for the rest of your life, and go learn about how men can become pregnant at some HR department survey.
Or you use your analytical skills that you use in school to get a job that pays 6 figures.
You can develop analytical skills outside of college.
I think you're just.
I'm living proof of that.
I think you're just. I mean, I almost dropped out too, and
I'm not saying it wasn't the right choice for you, but more times than not, kids are deceived and lied, and they have tons of animosity because this school is unique. If you go to UCLA or if you go to UC Berkeley, you're not left with $30,000 in debt. You're left with $130,000 in debt, right?
No, if you do the 2-year community college.
So again, I preface this school's a little different, but appreciate the thought. Thanks, man.
Hey, Kirk. My question is sort of a question/compliment. You're a very good public speaker, and I think a lot of people here might struggle with that. What I'm curious is somebody with so little education beyond high school and, just experience in the field, how are you able to so confidently just kind of word vomit, right? You said pretty much every question you've answered has been no answer. You've just kind of said what conservatives want to hear. So really all of your work is not a debate. It's just confirmation bias.
Okay.
So
want to have a debate?
Sorry?
You want a debate?
No, I'm good. I'm just curious where you learned.
Okay. You sure?
Where you learned how to public
I'm a high
speak.
school graduate. You're in college, man. Let's debate. I vomit for a living, you said.
Yeah.
Come on, let's debate.
No, I'm not here to debate. That's not,
No, you're
that's
just,
not
here
my
to, you're
question.
just here to insult me.
Yeah, you're a bad. Yeah, I am. You're a hero. Where did you learn how to public speak? Because you're really good at lying out of your ass.
What have I lied about? Name one thing I lied tonight about. Name a second thing. No, name a stat I said that's wrong.
You said 11 million jobs. You said 50%.
Yes, 11 million jobs are open for blue-collar work according to Mike Rowe and according to 3 independent studies according to the Department of Labor. Name another stat I said that's wrong.
I guess my main point is...
No, name a third stat that I said that's wrong.
When you say a stat or you just say numbers, it's helpful usually when you're public speaking to say where you got that information. Because people who disagree with you might not
so give me, no, but you give some examples. Where did I lie or say a stat that's not true?
You need to work on not doing confirmation bias.
Wait, hold on. No, but you come up here and say, oh, how did you with a high school education learn to spew BS? Say one thing I said that was wrong, misleading, unfactual, not rooted in data. One thing.
You're doing it right now.
I'm asking you a question.
I was just making a comment and you're spinning it. That's what you're really good at. That's why I think you're a good.
No, you came up here and insulted me. I'm asking you, how have I misled this audience? And you come unprepared, like not with a single data. I thought you'd at least have like one gotcha, man. Like one number, like one thing. 11 million job openings according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics that require muscular labor and require just a 6-month technical training degree. That is true. At the apex, 15,000 people coming across the southern border every single day. I even said it's down a little bit. That is true. What have I said that's incorrect?
Do next. You're good at what you do, but not for the right reasons. That's all I'm saying.
They don't want to debate me because they can't debate me. They can't say one thing I said that's wrong. They can't name one data point. They just come up here and insult. You, my friend, are why we are going to beat you guys historically, because you are afraid to have a debate. Just, it's so amazing, the smugness. How'd you learn to speak like this in word vomit? Oh, what'd I say that's true? Everything. Name one thing. Name another thing. Name another thing. Yeah, you should ask for money back at KU. They're really scamming you, man. You'd think you'd have one little thing. All right.
It amazes me how the educated do not have a clue. I mean, I can stand these college kids. You know, Charlie's patience and how nice he handles these brads is admirable. I mean, they are smug and carry themselves as if they have all the answers, you know, confidently dismissing any perspective that doesn't align with their own. It's frustrating to witness because their certainty often leaves no room for genuine dialogue or critical thinking. You know, these kids are a perfect example of indoctrination, shaped not by a balanced exploration of ideas, but by the uncritical acceptance of a narrow worldview. Their attitude reflects a deeper issue, you know, when people are taught what to think rather than how to think. They miss out the opportunity to grow, challenge their assumptions, and truly understand others. You know, Charlie is stepping up and doing the work that most parents ideally should be doing as their children grow and develop. Parents play a critical role in shaping a child's character, teaching essential values like respect, empathy, and responsibility, in guiding them through the challenges of life. This involves not only providing love and support, but also setting boundaries, you know, modeling good behavior and nurturing their emotional and spiritual growth. You see, when a parent fulfills this role, they help their child become a well-rounded, compassionate, and resilient individual. However, when this responsibility is overlooked or taken lightly, it often falls on others, like, thankfully, Charlie, to fill the gap, you know. Charlie's actions demonstrate a deep sense of care and commitment, stepping into a role that requires patience, understanding, and dedication. God bless Charlie. You know, he has the patience of a saint, you know, truly, and especially when it comes to dealing with some of these guys, these college students, you see, his ability to remain calm and composed, even in the face of frustration, is nothing short of remarkable, ladies and gentlemen. There are times, when others' actions can be so difficult to understand and to deal with. Yet Charlie handles it with grace and understanding that many of us can only aspire to. You see? It's not just about being patient in the moment. It's about showing compassion, listening with empathy, and offering support even when others might not deserve it, His example teaches us the power of patience as a form of love and how showing kindness in tough situations can have a profound impact on those around him. I truly admire how Charlie's ability to endure with such a positive attitude reflects a deeper strength, and I'm sure those around him are grateful for his unwavering spirit and calm presence. The arrogance of these college kids is genuinely alarming, sickening, and deeply enraging. It's as if they are convinced of themselves that their limited experience or knowledge are the ultimate truths, dismissing any perspective that challenge their own. What's even more frustrating is that even when they are clearly proven wrong, when facts and evidence directly contradicts their position, they refuse to listen or acknowledge the validity of what's being presented. Instead of being open to learning, growing, or even considering that they might not have all the answers, they cling stubbornly to their opinions, as though their pride is more important than gaining new insight or understanding. This kind of intellectual arrogance is not only frustrating but dangerous. It stifles meaningful dialogue and growth, turning the potential for education into an exercise in ego and stubbornness. You see, what's worse is that this mentality doesn't just close off the possibility of learning, but it also isolates them from others who might have valuable perspectives and knowledge, ladies and gentlemen. It's a cycle where their refusal to engage with differing ideas only deepens their arrogance and ignorance. You see? And it's incredibly disheartening to see young minds with so much potential for growth and change, so trapped in their own self-righteousness. Come on. Ultimately, the ability to listen, to grow, especially when proven wrong, is what fosters real wisdom. Without it, they risk not only missing the truth, but also shutting themselves off from the opportunities that lead to true understanding and progress. I am not against education. No. Education is essential for personal growth, for broadening our understanding of the world and for equipping us with the knowledge and skills needed to thrive in life. In fact, I believe that true education empowers individuals to think critically, make informed decisions, and develop a deeper sense of curiosity and wonder about the world. Education should open minds, inspire creativity, and promote the pursuit of truth in all its forms. However, what I'm against is brainwashing, the manipulation of minds through false narratives, one-sided viewpoints, or the imposition of beliefs that stifle independent thought. Brainwashing turns education into a tool of control rather than enlightenment, It encourages conformity, discourages questioning, and breeds a kind of intellectual stagnation that limits potential. In this sense, brainwashing is the antithesis of true education, which should encourage the exploration, debate, and the free exchange of ideas. I believe in fostering an environment where ideas are challenged, where different perspectives are respected, and where critical thinking is encouraged. Education should be about guiding individuals towards the truth, not forcing them into a predetermined mode. True learning is about nurturing the ability to think for oneself, to question the status quo, and to make decisions based on evidence, reason, and personal reflection. You see, it is about helping people develop the tools to navigate the world in a way that aligns with their own values and beliefs, rather than being coerced into adopting someone else's agenda. So, while I wholeheartedly support the idea of education, I stand firmly against the manipulation of minds through indoctrination or brainwashing. People deserve to be equipped with the ability to think critically, to understand the complexities of the world, and to make informed choices that align with their authentic selves.
The crazy thing is that this kid, he was angry because, he has been told to. It's as if he's a reflection of a programming that has taken place over a long period of time, And the sad reality is that this way of thinking or this belief system is being taught, to the kids in the schools, and it's so sad. It's so sad. Clearly, evidently, this guy, he really didn't know the things that he was talking about. He was actually surprised when Charlie was, giving the facts and, throwing the evidence to his face. He was actually surprised of some of the stuff he was hearing. Can you imagine? What in the world are students being taught in schools nowadays? That's a valid question we need to start asking, especially if you are a parent. What in the world are students being taught, in the schools today? Ladies and gentlemen, if you tell a lie long enough and you remain consistent on it or at it, people will end up believing the lie. It's just the way it works. Whatever you present to the people long enough and you stay with it, guess what's gonna happen? They will end up believing it as truth. It's sad, but it's reality, and it has been happening for long. Look at the mainstream media. Look at the mainstream media, what they are doing now. All the propaganda, all the things that they are feeding into society, all the character assassinations. If you think or if you speak anything that is against the left, you are the enemy all of a sudden. You see all this cancel culture, all this character assassination, these are things that are happening. Yeah. Happening. Man, this is sad, man. And one of the saddest things, is that these kids, they will literally, especially these liberal kids, they will literally believe anything or everything that they are taught by their teachers, their professors, anything. They're consuming everything. These are the type of guys who watch CNN for knowledge or to be informed. They watch CNN, they watch The Veil, they watch ABC, MCNBC, all those programs. This is sad, man. This is sad. Just think about it. Fast forward a few years from now, and these type of guys or these type of students, they end up in government offices. What type of leaders do you think they would be? Just food for thought. Just think about it. What type of leaders do you think these type of guys would be? It's actually funny that Charlie actually cares more for this guy than he actually cares for himself. You know? Bring them out of the darkness. I mean, even the Word of God says, you know, you shall know the truth and the truth shall make you free. Thank God for what Charlie is doing, man. You know, thank God for what Charlie is doing. He's doing a great job, you know. You know, he's representing America, you know, standing in for Americans, you know, and, you know, fighting to keep America alive, you know. And that's something we should all commend. Yeah. I mean, it was evident this guy, he didn't know. He didn't have these facts, you know, put together. He was clueless. And that's not a random guy who was walking in the streets. No, that's a guy who was in college. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It really is, you know. And I really hope, you know, he left really, you know, questioning his reality. And because the amount of facts, you know, that were presented to him, I mean, they were just astounding and astonishing, you know. I really hope that he went home, you know, really thinking about everything that he had been exposed to, you know, during the interaction with Charlie Kirk, you know. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and this, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter, you know, what side you're on, which party you support, you know, but it's always wrong when someone gets manipulated into believing a lie, you know, and, you know, being brainwashed to become idiots. I mean, that should never be anyone's future or, you know, outcome of life. No, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. You know, I really hope that, you know, this interaction with Charlie, you know, really encourages him to dig deeper into the issues, you know, that affects him, you know, and I do hope that someday you discover the truth and live a better life and a productive life, you know, especially for society.